Like many of us, you want to use modern technology to make your life easier, but the whole AI thing is overwhelming. Well, AI isn't just for techies and nerds. It's for everyone, and it can be your virtual assistant, and it's easier than you might think. You don't need 50 tools, you only need a handful that actually save time and are easy to use. Let me show you the best free choice for everyday needs and my go-tos for daily efficiencies. I use it every day and it saves me hours every week on tons of mundane tasks. Remember, AI won't replace humans, rather humans using AI will replace those who don't. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Art, and here we're exploring balanced productivity and navigating life on the other side of our 40s. Today, we're diving into something that affects all of us, AI for everyday use. As we go about our days, we all want that extra help to, say, summarize a long article or video, or help drafting or replying to an email, or grasp a long legal document, or maybe get some suggestions about our next trip abroad. Of course, we're turning onto computers and the internet. Steve Jobs famously referred to a computer as the bicycle of the mind.
So for me, a computer has always been a bicycle of the mind, something that takes us far beyond our inherent abilities.
Our mind thinks, solves problems, and connects with others. And computers have amplified these abilities, changing how we live. In one of the articles I recently read, the author says, if computer was the bicycle of the mind, then perhaps AI is its rocket ship. But with all these AI apps and chats and the new shiny ones popping up every day, and they also say we gotta pay for all that, AI is also
just like sex.
Everyone talks about it and wants it, but barely does it.
That was kind of a bold statement, wasn't it?
So today, let's cut through the noise and talk about AI for normal people. We will cover your new best friend instead of Google, the big three AI usual suspects that provide a lot of value, and a couple of hidden gems that might surprise you. Let's start with Google replacement. Yep, you can almost ditch Google. Enter Perplexity. What is Perplexity? Think of it as your smart research assistant. It's an AI-powered search engine that provides concise, factual answers with sources references. Here's what makes it special. It essentially takes your query or question that you can phrase however you want in a very normal language, then processes it with AI to understand it, then searches the internet, gets all the search results, and sums it up again with AI back to you in a structured, very clear, with links and all the sources it used. Use Perplexity when you need an accurate answer or step-by-step instructions, specifically without any AI hallucinations. It's great for troubleshooting, for technical issues, and researching topics that require factual accuracy. Quick note: Perplexity is the competitor of Google. Thus, do not compare it with Gemini or ChatGPT, we'll get to those in a minute. They are designed for different purposes. Before we jump onto the demo, again, think of Perplexity as your smart research assistant. It doesn't just search, it understands and explains. Let's have a look. Here's Perplexity website at perplexity.ai. It has a pretty standard layout with the chat window in the center and the sidebar with the history of your chats, spaces, etc. In the chat window here, we see a number of options, one of which is set sources for search, where you would direct Perplexity to the certain sources to get the answers from. By default, it is set to web, which is essentially replaces the Google for you. You can also direct it to academic for some research papers, or to the social sphere to get the opinions from the different discussions available in the internet. Another option here is the set of models, which is auto by default and should be good for the daily queries. But there is also Pro Search available, and free users get a limited number of the Pro searches per day. You can even see it mentioned down there. There's also newer models like deep research for in-depth reports on complex topics, and a number of other models. For example, DeepSeek distilled model was also made available in Perplexity. And another option here is the attachments. As always, you can attach images, text, or PDFs, and it also has its limitation for free users to 10 attachments per day. On the sidebar to the left, you have the option to start a new thread and also have access to your library with the history of all your chats. And what's more important, the search through the library, which, for example, the web version of ChatGPT lacks. Another feature here in the sidebar is Spaces, where Space is a group of chats customized to a certain use case or topic. When you create a space, you give it a name, give it a description, and then you can also give it a custom instructions on how to behave and what to do and what output do you want from all the chats in this space. If we look at the example space that Perplexity gave us here, this, for instance, is called "What Would Buffett Say?" We can see that there are custom instructions added to the space which tell the space to behave like Warren Buffett. And also we can see that there are a number of files and links added as the sources. So this space would use these sources and this custom instruction when answering the questions. And you can put different chats to the same space that all relate to this topic. And Space is a good way to centralize all your chats dedicated to a certain area or topic, also limiting it in a way with extra sources apart from the web. In this example here, let's try to ask something a simple question like, I'm a private person just starting out in the world of investment. What would be your first advice to me? Perplexity doesn't only goes to the web looking for the sources, but it primarily looking into the sources shared with the space. This is how the outcome looks. We can read a detailed, concise answer to the question, but also all the sources are listed here. As we can see, there are a number of sources coming from the space as well as other sources from the web. I personally use Spaces here for the topics of Apple computers and then YouTube and video production, and I also have played around with this for the trips preparation. Let's also try the simple search from the homepage and ask it a question like, how does photosynthesis work? Here's how Perplexity behaves. So it goes out to the internet, gets some sources, sums it up together, and provides us with a concise answer about the topic, linking to the sources it has used for the answers. There are also some materials like videos and pictures here, and you can click them and use them for your understanding. If we compare the output to Google's, we can see that traditionally, as the search results on Google, you get a lot of links and some snippet on the top, but still you need to go deeper into the research, open the links and read them through, while on Perplexity, you have the answer taken from different sources and summarized for you for easier and quicker understanding. Perplexity also has a number of apps available for iOS, Android, and Mac, as well as the Chrome extension, which would give you the ability to ask questions to Perplexity while sitting on any web page in the internet. Let me quickly demonstrate that. Here we are on the very long article that we would like to get a summary of. So in this case, we can click the Chrome extension button in the toolbar and just click Summarize. It will provide us with a quick summary of the page. It says, okay, I can summarize the article. Here's the key takeaway. What's great here is that we can follow up or ask another questions on this specific page. And in terms of paid plans, Perplexity offers professional plan for $20 a month, which will unlock you unlimited free searches, will give you much more pro searches per day, access to the smarter AI models, unlimited files uploads, etc. Why Perplexity is great? It's faster and more focused than traditional search engines, especially for research or quick factual queries. Why is it great for normal people? It's free, easy to use, and cuts through the clutter of traditional search results. Now let's talk about the 3 AI powerhouses everyone should know about and already know. We have ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. Let's start with the most famous one, ChatGPT from the company called OpenAI, while they're not so open at all. It's a go-to conversational AI, great for brainstorming, writing, or answering questions. The usage is straightforward. Just go to chatgpt.com, log in with your account and start chatting. The best way to learn? Just try things out, first and explore the possibilities. Even the free version is great, and it gives you a decent amount of chats using the advanced models. So let me show you what makes GPT so special. To use ChatGPT, essentially just go to chatgpt.com and start chatting with your assistant. I'm not going to go into all the simple explainers here, but the general advice is to talk to it like you would do with your personal assistant. Meaning you give it explain the context, you give it a task, and you describe the desired output. That's essentially it. If it's a simple queries like this, for example, then it's just relatively straightforward. You immediately get the answers just like you asked for. What I personally use the ChatGPT for very often is uploading the documents like PDFs or charts or images and asking it to explain it to me or ask some question about the document, specifically in the foreign languages that you don't speak. Let me show you. So I have a few files here, one of which, for example, is the rental agreement I got from the car rental company while I was on the vacation. So I just drag and drop the file into the ChatGPT window and then give it a simple prompt like this, explaining it in the natural language. So here what we see is that ChatGPT went ahead and read the whole PDF document, even if it's like a multi-page and foreign language, it's all good. So it provided me with the essential details and also with the important points and concerns, just like I asked it to behave. And here I can immediately, get all the information from the long legal document and some important points that I need to pay attention to. Super helpful. What's also cool about ChatGPT that it has a memories feature. So it remembers the facts about you taken from the chats that you've been having with the ChatGPT. So if you go to your account settings here, switch to personalization, then go memories, manage memories, you would essentially see all the list of all the facts that he knows about you, and you can manage those facts, delete some of them, and that's kind of cool. One other cool feature of ChatGPT is that it has a MacOS application, so you can download from the avatar menu. And then it behaves like a standalone application like this in the macOS. You can do absolutely similar things with the app. And unlike the web version of ChatGPT, so again, if you go to web version, to the list of your all recent chats, you would not see the search. It's not possible to search on the web version of ChatGPT. You would need to scroll it or do some Command F, while in the app on macOS, there's a search functionality. Again, if you open the sidebar, there's a search here, and you can easily find chats or conversation or topics you had even like last year or recently. One other cool feature of ChatGPT macOS app is that it supports the keyboard shortcut. If you go to settings here, scroll down to keyboard shortcut, you can set up your own keyboard shortcut, and that makes ChatGPT small window available from anywhere in macOS. Let me show you the window. It's right here. It looks like that. So if you, let's say, use some other app, you want to quickly ask ChatGPT about something, you just press your shortcut, and then you go with a simple question here. What year did World War II finish? If somehow you don't remember, you will immediately get an answer in that small window. And you can also follow up with the question and open it in a full-size window or start a new chat from there. Another super cool feature of ChatGPT is the voice mode for voice conversation with the chat. Specifically on the mobile phone, in the app, you would have that small little voice chat button on the bottom right, as well as on the web app. So if you just press it, and you can have the normal conversation. So the best use case here is to ramble everything into the ChatGPT voice mode with all the mistakes, not thinking about it, full stream of consciousness to the ChatGPT, and then ask it to make sense of it, to organize it and to structure it. So let's try here. You wait for the large circle to appear once it's ready for you to pick. Hey there, here I am just showing my YouTube viewers the small demo of the voice mode of ChatGPT.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Voice mode lets us have a conversation just like this. You speak to me, and I respond. It's designed to make our interaction more natural and hands-free.
I can even interrupt it. I can even interrupt it while it's speaking and then ask follow-up questions or completely change the subject. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
Absolutely. You can jump in anytime, and I'll adjust to keep the conversation flowing.
And once the voice chat is ended, you can have all the text transcript on the screen right here, which makes it even more cooler. So you can copy paste it from there into something else. And then the same functionality is available on the web. If you just press this voice button, it's absolutely the same functionality here. Oh, it says I have 2 minutes left, so I used too much of that functionality. It's basically part of the paid plan, of course. Speaking of paid version, so for ChatGPT, the paid plan is called Plus. It costs around $20 or 23 euro for me, as I'm based in the European Union. And you essentially get the extended limits on messages, file uploads, and voice mode conversations. You have access to multiple models and much more from there. So you can also create the custom GPTs, etc. Why choose ChatGPT? It's versatile, free, and always available with the Mac app. Given the limitations of other tools' free plans, ChatGPT is the default choice for all things AI related. Plus, it's very intelligent and relatively quick. Next up is Claude from a company called Anthropic. It's AI assistant known for the conversational and helpful tone. The model here is different from ChatGPT. It was trained differently. What makes Claude special? It's like having a really smart writing partner. It's available at claude.ai with a free account and free plan with some limitations. Many people agree that Claude stands out for writing intensive tasks and copywriting, and it produces much more context-aware, nuanced, and polished content. Others think that it's on par with ChatGPT, but here's my take. It's a matter of personal preference, so you gotta try both and decide. The best way probably is just to use a bunch of head-to-head tests, put in the same prompts into both of them, and then compare. Let me show you where Claude shines. To use Claude, what we do is similarly go into claude.ai and we will end up with this UI. Again, very straightforward, the UI to put your prompts, chats, and queries into. This is where you start typing and have the conversation. Claude is very good for writing, summarizing, and even having a casual conversation. Specifically good for inserting some dictated long chunk of text from somewhere, or just a long text or document, and then trying to make sense of all of it. For example, one of the applications here is if we have a long video that we want to summarize, you take the transcript of the video, put it to Claude, and ask it to provide you with the main topics or the structure, just like that. So if you go here, you take a transcript with whatever tool you have at hand, maybe the standard YouTube as well, and then insert it here. You see the long text are inserted like a separate files here, and then we run this prompt, and then it analyzes the transcript. Even if it was taken in a very weird format, like you see here with timestamps, then essentially you are presented with the structure, the timelines. So that was the video about the camera lenses explained. So we got all the timestamps with all the features that were mentioned. Or we can even ask Claude to analyze the certain charts and images like that. Let's say I have these charts with Dow Jones and S&P 500 price through the very long period of time. So if we drop it right here and just give it a very simple prompt, I'm giving you the chart, just like you talking to the personal assistant. Just ask the normal questions. Let's see what it comes up with. For example, you want to ask, let's go back to the chart. Let's say we're interested, how much did it grow from 12 to 22, for example? How much did S&P grow from 12 to? And it should be able to recognize from the image of the chart what were the years, what were roughly the numbers, and then present us with the calculation, as you can see. So it's roughly 300% relative growth. Again, you can try to make sense of the charts and pictures and complicated diagrams. Pro tip for Claude, you can star or favorite certain charts to always have them at the top to be able to back to them real quick. So if you start it here, you can see it appears in my start section here. Paid plan for Claude is called Pro. It costs around $20 or euros again, so 80 euros plus VAT here in Europe at the time of recording this video, and it gives you much more usage versus a free plan, as well as access to the project. Projects is a cool thing that I'm very curious about. I heard good things about it, so that you can create a project, you can feed in a certain sources to that project, the information from the files and from the text, and also provide it with your examples of tone of voice, and then ask it to work only with these sources using that tone of voice. Claude also offers desktop apps, so you can download it to use on a desktop. And again, here's my Claude app. It gives you access to all the chats, all the history again. And if you go to settings, as you can see, there's also the option to create a keyboard shortcut To make Claude available everywhere in the operating systems, I have my shortcut here. I don't use it much, but I just have it at hand just in case I'm somewhere else and I need to ask Claude something real quick. I can do it from here. Why pick Claude? It's user-friendly, free, and great for longer conversations. I personally am just starting with Claude, so I can confirm I like the text-related tasks better in here. So for anything text improvement, this is my go-to tool. Last but not least, Gemini is the Google's AI assistant integrated with the Google's ecosystem. It's available at gemini.google.com, and it is also embedded into some Google apps. So if you happen to have a Google Advanced as part of Google Workspace from your company, you're in luck. Over to Gemini. Let me also show you the Gemini real quick. So again, to use Gemini, we'll go to gemini.google.com, and we are presented with a very similar interface where you put your prompts. What's cool in Gemini is that it gives you the different models that Google publishes pretty frequently. So now we have access to 2.0 Flash and also the Thinking Experimental version and Thinking Experimental with access to certain apps. This list of models is always changing. It's worth checking out and testing out different models. Also, what's cool here is if you go to Settings, Extensions, here you can provide Gemini access to your own Google Workspace, like access to your Gmail, Google Drive, as well as the access to travel materials and media materials. And then you can launch the prompts that have to do with these things. One cool use case for Gemini is using it for travel arrangements and travel tips and tricks and recommendations and itineraries. As Gemini has access to Google Maps with all the feedbacks, ratings, venue information, times, etc., and it has also access to Google Flights, you can literally ask it to plan your trip for you, providing it with your destinations or points A and B, and then ask it what should we do along the way, where should we stay, where should we eat, adding the specific preferences you might have for these things. So let's plan an imaginary trip to, let's say I'm planning a trip here. It can be as basic as like I'm planning a trip from Berlin to Paris by car, recommend some scenic route and stopovers just for a few hours to have a rest and see something. Usually it gives you the map for the route. Yeah, it gives us the map and then describes the things. Let's say we want to stop over in Frankfurt for a lunch. We can ask, where can I have a lunch in Frankfurt? I like Indian cuisine or Asian, and it should not be expensive. Let's try that. So yeah, here are some vegan and Asian restaurants in Frankfurt that are not expensive. So you have the list of the restaurants with a link to Google Maps, mentioning the rating. Essentially, it would save you some time from searching through the maps. And it also puts it to the map right here. So we can follow up asking the different questions like what am I like? Sorry, what are my options here? Let's see what we got. See, it goes to Google Flights to check the flights from there and then give you something. So it gives us the parshers for the closest to the nearest dates, which is cool, but then you can immediately see the options and the prices, and you can even follow up with certain dates. If you have these productivity extensions enabled in the settings and provide Gemini access to your Gmail, Google Calendar, and even to your YouTube history, you can also ask Gemini on the things around your history. Let's say you want to dig up something from your mailbox that has to do with the car rentals again, so you can ask Gemini to do exactly that. It is connecting to my workspace, going through all my emails, kind of scary thing, but still. I ask him to find the emails about car rentals during my trips. Whoa, check this out. I found the following emails about car rentals during their trips. It gives me the trips back to 2014. It gives me the rental companies, the car I rented, and even the length. That's faster to find, and it provides a certain insights that search in Gmail would not bring me up. Why choose Gemini? It's also free, fast, and leverages everything Google knows, which is a lot. Here's a game-changing pro tip applicable to all tools. Follow up on the same topic in the same threads or chats. The tool remembers context from the previous chats. And also, when you ask the tool to improve or change or rewrite something, always add something like mark all the changes in bold. Super helpful. You can also rename the chats to more meaningful titles for you to remember to search later. Word of caution about GPT and Claude. They tend to produce hallucinations for certain topics. Remember, they are generative, pre-trained transformers. Therefore, don't rely on them as accurate sources of information and facts. Instead, use Perplexity or direct those tools to search online for reliable data. That was it for the big players. ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini are more than enough for us, normal people. Yes, we see a never-ending stream of new AI tools popping up every single day. But we don't need to chase every new shiny tool. That's just a waste of time. Instead, focus on getting really good at using a few of your chosen ones. The good news is that competition is great for us too. It pushes the whole industry and all the players forward, and as the end users, we only benefit from it. The prices go down and the new features appear faster. A quick example, when DeepSeek exploded with its cool reasoning feature, other big players almost immediately opened up the same functionality in their tools. Now, let me show you something interesting. Today, there are solutions and apps that combine many tools into one using different language models. Their promise is to be a one-stop shop for everything you might need, with the ability to apply different models to different needs. And they cannot obviously be 100% free, so the approach they utilize usually is giving the user some sort of credits or amount of credits for free that you can spend during a day or a month. One of such tools I find useful is Cider. Find it at cider.ai. Let's have a quick look at Cider. They live on cider.ai. So here we see the one-stop AI sidekick. And if you scroll down, you would see they offer the all-in-one chatbot where you can chat with different models. They also offer AI reader, AI writer, the ability to chat with your PDF versions, and even an integrated image tool where you can chat with images and grab the text from there, etc. So the tools list over here lists all the functionality. So again, as you can see, group A chat, but also the translator, dictionary, image translator, OCR features, and for writing, it will help you to write in different tones, check the grammar and spelling, etc., and then the image background remover, etc., etc., etc. In terms of the apps, they have standalone apps for all the major OS, as well as a Chrome extension. The star of the show here is the Chrome extension. Essentially, you can use only Chrome extension without standalone app, and that's what I do personally. I already have it installed here. And then what it gives you, it brings you a couple of cool functionalities. Everything you have selected in your browser immediately have a small pop-up context window that you can customize to your likings. And there are certain features always at hand once you select anything. So for me personally, I choose explain, translate, and also summarize. If you visit a certain page, and then something is not clear, let's say this is the article about AI, and then they mention something called ELIZA. So we just select the word and we say explain. And it gives me, okay, ELIZA was an early computer program created, blah, 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 blah. So it kind of brings up the context. And then obviously, so you can select any part of the text and do a quick summarize here. All right, that's the smaller text, essentially explaining things. And it's also super great for translation. So let's say you're somewhere on a different language website and you obviously can do the overall translation, but if there is a certain unknown word for you, and if you go to a certain unknown word translation feature here like this, it will not only get a translation, but also an explanation of the context, why and how this word was used in this particular article. So I find it super handy, super useful. And another feature of the Cider Chrome extension is this small brain icon that is always visible on any page with its own context menu with certain things like translation and summarization of the page. And you can also change some settings right here. And again, what's cool is that you can use this Chrome extension for free. There is no need to sign up for their paid plan. But if you go to pricing, they usually drop the special deals. You would see, and we switch to monthly. The basic usage is $10 per month. It will give you more and more credits. By default, as a free user, you only get like 30 credits a day, which is more than enough for the simple checks here and there. But again, paid version provides you with much more credits. You can do much more in the app. Let me share one more game changer, especially for Mac users, Raycast. Check them at raycast.com. Think of it as a spotlight on steroids. Let's check Raycast real quick. So they are on raycast.com, your shortcut to everything. So think of it as it's basically a macOS handy launcher that replaces your Spotlight completely and does so much more. And I cannot recommend this tool enough. Let me know if you want a full video about it, but there are tons of extensions. There are tons of features, options, and abilities with this tool. What Raycast is on your Mac is essentially this small window that is being triggered by a certain shortcut that usually replaces your spotlight. For myself, I have control space. And here, the essential usage is that launch some kind of app. You just start typing the name, and then the app appears, you click enter, and the app is launched. You can search through files, you can do a lot of different things. And if we go to the Raycast pricing page, you would see that their basic version is free forever. It costs nothing and includes all the core functionalities like clipboard history, calculations, snippets, a cool emoji picker. By the way, it works like this. You can even search emojis like here, and then one press, boom, it's inserted. And then all the extensions, all the window management, everything is included. But there's also a paid version called Raycast Pro, $8 a month for yearly payments. The monthly is at $10. So this is the list of what's included. And then here, the most important things for me, because this is the only tool where I pay the money to. So Cloud Sync here enables you to sync all the settings, all your shortcuts, all your snippets in between devices, right? So I have a working laptop, I have a personal laptop, that's why I need it. And then the other feature, and that's also a cool AI application, is the Raycast AI. Raycast AI essentially gives you the access to many things just in the same window here. You can also add $10 more a month to get access to all these advanced models listed here. So by default, the Raycast AI includes a bunch of models that you can use for different things like improving your texts, checking the spelling and grammar, and also chatting with them. But for $10 more, you can see you can get access to all the paid version right here. So that's a huge helper in terms of being able to access all these models from Raycast, because they have their own chat window, which is available by a shortcut. Again, I set it up. So this is where I can ask AI anything and I can choose the models. As you can see, I don't pay for advanced models. I only have the basic ones, but they are all available here. So if I want to chat with Llama, or if I want to try Mistral or Gemini specific version, it's all here. DeepSeek is already here, a distilled version, but still. So what Raycast is the same window available to you to put your prompts into. So instead of running Safari from here, you would just put your prompt here. Say what was the year. And then instead of pressing enter to launch, you would just press tab. See here, it gives you the prompt saying SKI tab. I press tab and I immediately get the answer to my question. I didn't open the ChatGPT on my browser. I didn't go into this quick window for ChatGPT. I just asked it here, and GPT-4o Mini provided me with the answer. So if we go to the extensions here and search for Raycast AI, we will see the list of everything available in Raycast as an AI. So for example, summarize web page, summarize your video, make longer, make shorter, improve text, fix the spelling and grammar, change tone, etc. So how it works is that you run these commands and you can also assign a shortcut, a hotkey for certain commands. Let me show you how it works. We'll go to Apple Notes and we'll start a new note. Let's say we type something into here. Let's say I have this sentence and I want to improve that somehow. So I have it all selected and then I press just one simple hotkey. In my case, it's caps I, and it's been sent to improvement to ChatGPT 4o Mini in this case. And here's the improved version. So in this case, I can just, again, click one button and it replaces my original text. What I can also do, again, if I Command Z to the original version, I created a few different commands to improve the text with different models. I bring up the Raycast window and I start typing improve. And here I have 3 different versions. So I can improve with Claude, I can improve with Gemini, and I can improve with DeepSeek. So what I do usually, I compare different versions. So I go improve with Claude. I read it. Okay. It even highlights me the changes. Well, sounds good. I can do the DeepSeek. It's thinking a little bit more, but here's the version from DeepSeek and here's the version from Gemini. Sometimes some of those tools work better and specific for the larger text. But again, this is all available at my fingertips. And what I can also do, I can even make it longer with the AI. If I need more text in this area, for example, I would go with the command make longer or just longer. There we go. This is the extended version and then one button and it's there. Got it. So let me stop right here, otherwise I would spend ages explaining how cool the Raycast is and how many options it has. Let me know if you want a separate video on this. To keep this video short and simple, let's stop with the tools here. But if you want more, let's wrap this up with some actionable steps that you can take starting today. Number 1. Stick to the free tool until you consistently hit the limitation and absolutely sure you miss out without a paid plan. And if you decide to go paid pro and pay, use monthly plans. Yes, they are more expensive, but because everything changes so fast, there might be a better tool coming out and you would want to switch. Number 2, make these tools work for you. Tailor them by using custom instructions. In every tool's settings, there is usually an area where you could tell this tool about yourself and provide it with instructions how you want it to be addressed. You can find some templates online and they are super cool. Adjust them to your needs, put it to your tools, got it tailored. Number 3, learn better prompting. So there are different frameworks available online, so you can look them up on YouTube or anywhere. So there is one with context solve feedback, where within each part you provide a specific follow-up queries to the AI. So there is also this who, why, what, how. So those are the things that you should provide the AI with to get a better response. Or there is also this task content example persona format, the instructions that you gotta give to the AI so that it produces much better results. And also start collecting good prompts into your own repository in whatever note-taking software you use. Number 4, explore and experiment. Start trying out new things and learn on the go. Maybe image generation, maybe try Notebook LM for the deep research. So if you work for a company, chances are there are tools available there, like Atlassian has this Confluence AI that I personally find very useful for rewriting more professionally, or Microsoft Copilot, or again, Google Workspaces that has this Gemini Advanced enabled for you. But there are also a bunch of virtual call note-taking and recording assistants, specifically the ones that do not join the calls as a separate participants, but they run in parallel on your computer and they take notes, they summarize, and they provide you with the AI output. A couple of such things are Tactic and Granola. AI usage is a skill, and like any other skill, using AI requires training and practice. To improve with AI, dedicate some time maybe each week to learn. And this could include watching videos, taking courses, or studying materials, or reading a newsletter on this topic. It will eventually pay off. And let's not forget that computers and AI are still technologies. They are both instruments for our minds and are not substitute for the mind itself. So, and again, like they say, AI won't replace humans, it's rather individuals using AI will replace those who don't. It's about time to start embracing the world of AI.
How many times have I said AI today?
This video was mostly unscripted and a bit of all over the place, and that's okay. It's part of my journey away from perfectionism. I'm trying to be more of a friend to myself and instead of a burned out, self-improving superhero. If you want to hear more about that, check out this video right here. And for more content like this, click right here. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, stay balanced.
Now let's talk about the 3 AI